May is berry month here in California's Bay Area. You see the white house over here covered with Agribon pest fabric. That's a thin material that keeps the birds off. I built a tent over the top of my blueberries, and if I didn't have that tent, I probably wouldn't have any blueberries. The birds would just gorge themselves on it. Almost gave up raising these here because of the birds until I came up with this idea. Down here on the ground, underneath the blueberries, we have cocoa bean hulls. Cocoa bean hulls are a nice acid mulch. Blueberries like acidic materials. They also like to have a mulch because the roots are extremely shallow, and that will keep the roots moist. Be sure to water your blueberries. Over there is a sunshine. That's one of the dwarf forms. The one here in front of us is O'Neill, one of my favorites. Plant two, at least, varieties for cross-pollination. Heading towards the main garden gate over here, we're going to have to swing by the cherry tree. Now, the cherry tree is more of a June crop in this area, but I just can't hesitate from dragging it up, so we'll have to swing in by it. To the left over here, and we have raspberries. These are the golden raspberries. The variety is called Fall Gold. It's one of the ever-bearing forms. I really prefer the golden raspberries to the red ones for flavor. I think they're sweeter. Got a more pronounced taste to them. Oh boy, excuse me. The canes you see in front of you that are fruiting were last year's canes. They're overwintered. They flower in the spring. And then in the midst of them, as they're fruiting, come this year's canes, these nice stout green ones right here. This year's canes are going to make berries this fall. The canes that are fruiting at the moment, after they're done, we're going to cut them down to the ground to leave room for the new ones. And that's why they call them ever-bearing raspberries. They actually produce 2 crops a year. 1 crop in spring on last year's cane, and 1 crop in the fall on this year's. Coming around the corner over here, we find blackberries. This is late May at the moment. My blackberries are still pretty green. They are more of a June crop here in the Bay Area, but since we're discussing berries, I thought I'd include them. The variety in front of you here is Triple Treat, and I also have Black Satin. All of these are thornless varieties. As you can see, I'm running my hands across them with no pain whatsoever, so they're pretty easy to grow and handle. I know from talking to gardeners, every time I mention that, oh, I grow blackberries, I hear them go, oh, them blackberries, they get out of control. Really, case is there's no such thing as an out-of-control blackberry. It's just a gardener that doesn't know how to handle them. The one thing you don't do with blackberries is never allow these tips to touch the ground. If the tips of the plant touch the ground, the tips will re-root, and you'll get brand new plants springing up. So then they end up leapfrogging across the garden. To prevent that, I just coiled the canes like they were rope, and I hang the coils up on the fence. After this year's canes fruit out, I'll take them down and I'll replace them again with these nice, young, strong, vigorous looking canes over here coming up. We'll take those, coil them up to the fence during the winter time, tie them in place, and they'll make the fruit for next year. In some cases, I've even used the apple tree over here as a trellis to hang the berry canes off of. Just again, don't allow them to touch the ground. And that's the berries in the Bay Area for May.